I dare to say that this room represents quite an average company, where you have someone who's really good at data and knows exactly what you're saying and feels like, yeah, I know already. I'm just staying here because I'm polite. And on the other hand, someone who's like, thank you, now I understand, because I have no idea what you're actually talking about, but you're saying it in a way that I can relate, I can understand, I can figure it out. We're in a world where you have in the same company these digital natives, these digital immigrants, but also these digital passengers. I've been in an organization on Friday in London where they have an AI listening to a meeting, and at the end of the meeting they have an MVP. So we have these organizations, and you might call this almost an edge case, because they're like, they are what we call an AI native company. But many organizations out there have everything, all of this in the same organization. So how do you get them to speak the same language and sign up for the same culture? Because culture means that we all agree on something, that we live together, rarely top down. So
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that you have all of this in most of the organizations at the same time? Like I don't know if, and I'm sorry to all of you if you feel like I'm doing you wrong, but I know some who felt like, okay, I'm staying here in the room because I want to be polite to Sebastian and Nikki, and I'm sure there's some in the room who are like, okay, now it's clear, now I get it a little clearer. It's no, thank you, and that represents quite an average organization, doesn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I think you already hinted, I think, at the two crucial parts of this. One is you have to, in a way, have some sort of ambassador program, right, where people that are feeling closer to this, that feel native in this world, really engage with everybody who doesn't, and make sure that this is connected. And the way I like to talk about it, I think the mistake that's often made is that people create these centers of excellence, right? So we have a data center of excellence or a AI center of excellence, and what I always tell them is you need to build centers of engagement. Yeah, you can also call that COE, but center of engagement will be much more successful than your center of excellence, which becomes this ivory tower. And the other part of it is, and this is a bit of a tired answer, but it's true nonetheless, this is a leadership responsibility. And I know leaders get told like 20 times a day what they should care about, what should be top of the agenda and things like that. But culture is really something that comes from leadership. I mean, people are smart in a social way. They look at what gets rewarded. They look at, not what's on the poster, but who gets that promotion, who gets that reward. And unless the leaders really start with the creation of this, these initiatives are doomed to fail. Even if this role that I talked about, the chief data or chief AI or however officer, reports, let's say, to the head of IT. That's not going to drive a data transformation. They have to, of course, work together with the CEO. They are transformation people in order to make this happen.
You just sold a book.
Thank you so much. This now feels like the home shopping channel, you get the signal or the number next to it. But thank you very much. Appreciate it, of course. Yeah.
Okay, you have to unmute yourself.
Oh, hey, Kat. Oh, good to see you again.
It's good to see you. It's been way too long.
Yeah.
I've been curious what you've been up to, and looks like your book is going to be a big winner. I wish you well with that. What do we do in a world where there's deliberate denial of what the data is showing us?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Climate to me is quite an obvious case.
Yeah.
Especially here in the United States right now.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because so there's actually a piece of climate research that I write in the book, and this is that for a long time climate research operated on what was called an information deficit theory. That basically the assumption was, well, if people don't believe in climate change, all we have to do is show them more data. And if we show them more data, they will all become believers. And I think that's the crucial part of the research, of course, that it says, no, they won't. Stop showing them data. Grab people emotionally. That's the only way that you can make this happen. And I think that is sort of the type of engagement that we need to think about. And I think way too often, well, I'm going to show you another scientific report. I'm going to create another slide or things like that, and it's just not going to do it. It's picking, really finding out where are people and how can we pick them up on an emotional level here. That is the only successful route, and of course that's hard because it's not immediate change of conviction, but that's the only way that people operate. And I think what you can use data for is, of course, to try and find those emotional hooks that are quite effective. I think way too often data is, of course, used to find these wedge issues, that drive the division between us. But just as much, of course, you can also see what resonates and then how do we get people on board. And I think that's then the inspired use of the data for that case.
Kat's question reminds me to the wonderful Mattis Wackernagel, who says that how can you incentivize to understand if your salary depends on not understanding?
Right.
Oh, incentivize to understand. I love that. Yeah.
When your job depends on
not understanding.
Yeah. The simplicity of your slides was really beautiful. It made it very easy for me to understand the flow of your argument. So I want to compliment you on that.
Well, thank you.
Also, you said in the beginning it's completely different than the presentation before, and I think we're all very grateful for that, because sensitive overkill with many aspects and many things in motion, followed by clarity, is very helpful.
Well, and then after the week, the whole thing, comes together in this beautiful whole, and then the resonance and the themes that emerge become clear. I mean, that's the beautiful part of an experience like this, right?
Absolutely. I want to say thank you so much. We're reached the top of the hour, and I want to be respectful. For some people, it's 8 p.m. Kat, your day starts just beginning. Here in Europe, the day is coming to an end, and also on your end, it's 7. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I feel like you've given a lot of chunks of arguments. Like I know already. I'm going to paraphrase you a lot now. when I talk to people and they come from their different angle and perspective.
Thank you so much for that, and again, thank you for having me and for doing things like this. This is all what it's about. So hope everybody has a lot of fun and inspiration for the remainder of the week.